Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Talbach 2K23. We are continuing our gameplay here with the hopes of doubling our bank account in one night to go from 60 G's to 120 G's. Will we do it? I don't know, but we're going to give it a good old college try. I mentioned in the pre-show there's a really cool feature that Steam just added to their beta program that's worth checking out if you are a family of gamers and you have multiple Steam accounts, or maybe if you are a little loose with the term family and just know multiple gamers that you feel are family. Steam revamped their family sharing. Just launched the beta today. I'm looking forward to trying it out with my kid. Might be worth checking out. Again, if you are a family of gamers or have a set of gamers that you feel are family, allows you to basically share amongst the entire family the family's game library. The only thing I think genetic is that there's something Windows side that is trying to take precedence over the game window. And that's why Windows is minimizing it in order to give whatever other application or window focus. So I would start with what's running when the game is doing that, and maybe work from there. But it sounds like it's an application or something within running on the machine is trying to take the focus away from the game, and as such it's minimizing it. Well, Farmer G, I think you might find that us, at least myself, really wouldn't know the difference between the two. I'll admit, I'm an uncultured American. We celebrated by raising Royal Mayhem in ATS and having some T-bones for dinner. That's how we celebrated. Now, are you running full screen, or are you running Farm Sim in windowed version? I don't know if maybe running it in windowed version would help, or Windows mode. Because if you run in Windows mode, then you can Alt Tab and the game stays up. Of course, then maybe what you would recognize as game audio drops out until you focus back on that window. Seems like Giants has established a little bit of a trend here with a no mod drop Mondays. I'm not sure I like that idea, because that means towards the end of the week there's like mega map drop Thursdays and Fridays. And well, this week that means we're going to be away. And busy. I really don't know what the difference is between full screen and exclusive full screen. I didn't even really know what that exclusive full screen was there until I was messing around a little bit with the video about low powered graphic settings, and I saw a note about FSR 3 stating that it did not work with exclusive full screen. Yet what I found interesting is if you have an AMD graphics card and you use the AMD Adrenalin software, it states that FSR 3 requires exclusive full screen. So it's kind of interesting that the Giants setting says doesn't work with exclusive, but the AMD software says it requires it. I tried FSR 3. I was never satisfied with how the foliage textures looked. So that's why I never really recommended turning it on or using it. Now, I was saying earlier that I did a major goof up on the 3 contracts that we did last week that were baling contracts. And I left a lot of money on the table because I came down to an entire field of bales was inaccessible to me. So I'll show you when we get this bale full what I mean. So we had a contract to do this field, 21, 1, and 24. And apparently 21 and 24 delivered to the same location. And when I delivered 21's bales, it said, for whatever reason, it completed field 24's contract, which would have been fine, except I closed the game and relaunched it. And when I did that, I could no longer bale any of the grass on 24. So all of these bales, 2.13 hectares of bales, were completely lost to me. Now, I had enough extra bales to actually complete all 3 contracts. But that whole field of bales could have been just bank money. Now, we won't have that problem tonight because both contracts deliver bales to different locations. But that was super frustrating. But what's not super frustrating is that this video is brought to you by David Korn and Matthew Young. Thank you for being farm barons. Shane, what is up? It's going well. We're just out here doing some silage contracts. Trying to pad our bank account a wee little bit. Waiting for our crops to grow up. I probably got some grass I gotta cut at the farm too. Gotta decide, what do I do with that grass? What do I do with the silage that I have? Got 20,000 liters of silage. Now I can't make, well, I can make silage out of grass if I do bales or put it in a bunker. But the fermenter factory requires chaff, which is why we doubled down on cornfields this year. And our sheep are not going through the grass near as fast as really I need them to. We got lots of hay. I guess we can increase our animal population. But I kind of like letting the cows and such kind of just reproduce naturally. Oh, that does take a little bit of time though. All right. Let's go to slowly finish this field out. Did anybody have a chance to check out the Coming Home map video that I dropped on, I guess that was Sunday? Was it Sunday? Yeah, I feel it was Sunday. Kind of an interesting map. I don't remember if maybe that was out 19 and this is a 22 convert. A lot of the description kind of implied that maybe we had seen this map before. And this was an update. Maybe as if we had it 19 and then it became a 22. It had some rolling fields, but I think some of the hills were pretty extreme. What's up, Will? How's it go? We still on track for our Nebraska lands release? We were talking a bit about that last week. Oh, good progress is good. So, what do you mean, Farmer G? Like, you're all over the place? If you are using the wheel in Farm Sim, first thing you need to do is go and get rid of the dead zone that Farm Sim adds, because the dead zone is ridiculous. It's like a 14% dead zone. I like to run a 1% dead zone or a 2%. Joseph, it's Nebraska lands. Will did a map called Nebraska lands in FS19. It was a 4X map. He's working on a 16X variant for 22. Maybe once they drop support for the old platforms. Maybe. It's hard to tell. We speculate that the reason we haven't seen large maps, 4X maps, on console is the memory limit on the old platforms. The fact that they are fairly reduced or restricted in memory. And I think Sony and Microsoft limit how much system memory a game can occupy. Now it's possible the newer platforms, since they have more memory, will be able to do that, but that's mere speculation on our behalf. Because there's no reason a similarly equipped Windows machine would have issues running a 4X or a 16X map. So that would put that, in theory, spec-wise, PlayStation or an Xbox X, PlayStation 5 or Xbox X, should be able to do it fine from a spec standpoint. But again, you don't know We don't know what restrictions Sony and Microsoft put on games with respect to resource utilization. I mean, sadly, that's the name of the game with respect to consoles is it's a closed platform. And the only things that happen on those platforms are things that Sony and Microsoft allow. I should have baled all that grass last time. But from a entertainment standpoint, I didn't want to spend all stream mowing and baling. That's another thing I could have done to not lose all that money last time. I was fairly impressed I was able to run this map on my handheld without too many issues. Frames are right around maybe 40 and 60, depending on things. Yes, this is the map with the cool icons. And the map is available over at lsfarmingmods.com. We're going to have another map, hopefully, from lsfarmingmods.com in April, and that is the Spring 24 update to Hofburgman. What I understand, it is currently out in a testing phase. Can't wait to see what has been changed on that. Will we get the infamous bull juice back? Or some of the other cool things from the FS19 version of the map? And depending on what Giants announces in April, because I do expect there to be an announcement in April, it might be the last update. Maybe. Because if there's a new game coming out in the fall, would there be a fall update to Hofburgman 22? One last hoorah, knowing that the player base is going to do a mass exodus, possibly right around the same time it got released. All speculation at this point, of course. But the first thing we need to get through is the release of Farm Sim Kids on March 26th. So that would be a week from this coming Thursday. No. That is incorrect. A week from tomorrow is the 26th. Because the 29th is a Friday, and that is when we are participating in the No Kid Hungry. Let's get that up. The No Kid Hungry charity live stream with Giants on Giants' Twitch channel. Last I heard, it's going to be a bale stacking challenge with several other farm sim creators between YouTube and Twitch. So it's going to definitely be worth coming out and watching. That'll be Friday the 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe it is. It's a little bit later in the day to accommodate some of us working folks, I think. But to that end, we are close $50 away from achieving our current goal of $350 raised for No Kid Hungry, a charity that is focused on feeding our children here in the United States. So oftentimes we focus our efforts on feeding children outside the country, yet our own kids are hungry here in our own backyard. Oh, Richard, what do you mean they've been weird? Like a weird mod release schedule? I mean, I think they're preoccupied with some things. Well, we know we have the same time frame. Or is it early April? No, it's the 29th, right? We know we have the release on the 29th. The collaboration with Connect Modding, Case, and Giants for some of the Brazilian model case tractors. So that's going to be a free add-on. Wouldn't really call it a DLC, I just call it an add-on. And then, of course, Farm Sim Kids on the 26th. And hopefully the announcement we've all been waiting for. Not on April 1st. Oh, Bertus, I think the only thing that'll put your rock out is if it sinks into the ocean. But then I think it'll still be on fire because we all know that, well, there's volcanoes underwater too. Just dig a giant moat around your house for all the lava to flow into. I mean, McHale stuff would be nice. McHale stuff would be nice. I'll admit, I like seeing the McHale stuff. They had really nice stuff at the National Farm and Machinery Show. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't expect to hear anything new until after Farm Sim Kids is released, and that is now a week away, starting tomorrow. So maybe they announce something on Thursday, the 28th. That would be cool, because then that's all we would be talking about during a charity live stream on the 29th. But I honestly expect them to announce something in early April. That's basically when they announced Farm Sim 22, way back in 2021. An oops clip of a small group of equipment. Oh, tell me more. Tell me more, tell me more. Tell me more of your dirty little lies. What's that song? What's that song go? Is it by Heart? Who is it by? There you go. There you go. See Fleetwood Mac. Was it a like a just random Joe put a video up about something they saw? Or was it something that showed up on the official Giants channel? I mean, because if I'm a regular Joe and I'm just walking around in a public place and I see something with my eyeballs and I just happen to bring my phone out and record it with my eyeballs and my phone in a public place, right? That's like the cat's out of the bag at that point. Like, you know, we know the New Holland Harvester has been in-gamed into 22. Lots of folks are hoping to see it be released for 22. But there are folks who are thinking that quite possibly we won't see the New Holland until whatever comes next. So that might be another sign that something's coming next. Is is the New Holland. I think there was a new Massey Ferguson S series was demonstrated in game at Agritechnica that we also haven't seen. You know, it may have been it may have been something like that where it was a video of gameplay of something that is coming to Farming Simulator. But it may have just been in-gamed for marketing, and there's no real plans to bring it in-game in the current release. But yeah, it's hard to say, you know. It's hard to say. Like last year at PAX, those that were there got to see an early build of Farm Sim 23 mobile. Right? We weren't able to record anything, but we were able to see it and basically talk about what we saw. So it could have been something like that, where maybe creators that were at the UK show were given an early preview of something, either coming to 22 or coming to Farm Sim at some date in the future, and we're told to keep it hush-hush. Somebody whipped out their phone and grabbed some naughty video of it anyway, right? So that could be the case. The Giants did not, but New Holland was at the show, at the National Farm Machine Show, and they had a kiosk set up running a special demo build of Farm Sim. It was on a 10-minute loop, and every 10 minutes it would reset to a fixed save game that had their harvester in the field to harvest wheat. And there was a tractor and a trailer there and a couple other things. And the idea is that someone could play the game for 10 minutes, use the machine, and then at 10 minutes the game would just reset and it would be the next person's turn. So that was clearly a custom build that was given to New Holland for marketing purposes. You know, they weren't saying coming to Farming Simulator 22. It's just like, you know, there's our big new harvester in real life. Here's Farming Simulator with our new harvester in game for you to play with. I've got a short. I did a short of it. Let's see if I can find that linky link real quick. No, that's not it. Here it is. That's the video I took. It's like 1 second too long for a short. Had I realized that when I uploaded it, I would have made it shorter. Now I think at PAX East they're going to have some machines set up. Last year they had laptops set up. They're going to have some machines set up with the premium expansion. I asked if they'd have the Hori bundle set up for people to use, but it doesn't sound like it. It's going to be limited to controller and keyboard and mouse. Farmer G, tell me more about the wheel. Tell me more about your wheel and your experience. Did you just try it in ATS, ETS2? Or did you do it in Farm Sim? And like I said, if you do it in Farm Sim, go in and really knock those dead zones out. It'll make driving a whole lot easier. Because for some reason they put a massive dead zone in. Maybe it makes the gameplay easier on a controller. But on a wheel, that massive dead zone is awful. The auto stop Bale mod? Yeah, I went and grabbed that last live stream. I did also add the unload unfinished Bale mod. I need to remember to use that. That mod came out what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It was like, where have you been my entire life? I never knew I needed you, but now you exist. I cannot live without you. Now, I keep forgetting about the whole real GPS thing. Alright, we're gonna have well over 100 bales by the time we're done here. Sipper, what's up? Did you get your machine figured out? What happened? What happened? All I know is you vanished and then you were talking about your BIOS, which didn't really make much sense. I get anxious anytime I'm needing to update BIOS. It's that whole thing. If power goes out right now, then the machine's dead. Still working through it then. Yeah, hopefully it will be in the next base game. Yeah, it's always frustrating not being able to empty the baler, especially on cotton contracts, right? It takes so much cotton to fill up a module or a round bale. And then you complete a contract and the dumb things are like 75%. And you can't get it out of the baler. And you can't complete the contract. And you've just completely frustrated because all the time you just spent is completely wasted. If you have that capability, but you're on console, so you can't. Well, if you're on console, you can't use that mod either. Yeah, I mean, they have their place, but they're a lockdown platform, right? So it's you get to play the way the developers want you to play, or the creators of the platform. Which is why I said in that video around graphics settings for low-powered systems that I think handheld Windows-based gaming computers and these low-cost little mini machines that play games pretty darn good for their size are an interesting potential bridge. For a console player. The handheld has controls built in, so you're already using a controller. It's a pretty easy analog move. And these Windows handhelds are about the same price as a console. They're definitely cheaper than a gaming machine would be. And since they're Windows based, you have all the you have access to 4X maps, script mods, third-party mod sites. Dev controls, sky's the limit. Well, yeah, hospitals and doctors' offices use things like that, but they're more akin to being dumb terminals. They're thin clients running a watered down OS or running a very low-powered CPU with a minimal Windows install just to connect to a remote server. These machines I'm talking about are a lot more powerful. They range anywhere from, depending on price, $400 to $700. Literally fit in your hand, and I mean they are more powerful than, more or just as powerful as pretty much any gaming laptop out there, CPU wise, not GPU wise. All right, let's try this. Oh, unload an unfinished bale. You're gonna wrap it. How much is in it? Hello? Unload, you silly. There we go. Yep, 35.75 versus it's 500. Alrighty. Let's go make some money. Oh yeah, it's not as, it's definitely not as good as 2080. But I've started firing up all the map videos that I do now. I'm gonna run a little bit of a test on that machine and see how any one map runs on it. And so far, like the 3 videos we did last week, all 3 of those maps were pumping 100 plus frames on average, using the settings that I put in the video, and I thought it looked fine. Looked fine for what it is. Oh yeah, Hellhawk, I agree. I agree. I've got a 32-inch 1080p screen, and it's too big for that resolution. .32-inch really needs to be 1440. Cookie! Well, if you would, there's an easy way to do this. Just roll around in some of that citronella oil, and the bugs will go away. I still haven't picked up those Bale trailers from the Mod Hub. So 40 parts soap and 1 part water. That sounds great. No, he'll hawk because I don't think about it until I'm using this bale trailer. Just rub Dawn on yourself. Rub yourself down with Blue Dawn. Wow, this is going well. All right, this field is, which field is this? Field 22. Bawa. Field 22 to Bawa. Seems like, oh no, we hung up here. I mean, it seems like a major design flaw here with the bug. I mean, we could have me do double D40 in a lighter. One more load and we're done. Man, I don't think you're supposed to be getting around here with this long trailer. I think growing up we would take growing up we just take some gas and just chuck it on a beehive, and they would just plummet like insta death. Dwayne, what's up? Chuki's been infested with bugs. We're giving them all types of advice on how to get rid of them. Well, wasps and hornets usually aren't animal safe either. I feel like Dwayne, that advice was maybe given a little bit too late. But honestly, usually on the farm we would just ignore them. You'd be surprised if you ignore bees what they do to you. They typically just ignore you too. Oh, Tuki's hell diving. Did GPortal ever get servers back up? Is Helldivers one that has servers? Oh, this whole area is very narrow. They're going to be at PAX as well. If there's anything you'd like me to relay to GPortal, let me know. It's a wonderful Euro map. It's for those that can actually drive their vehicles. How is the weather in Iceland these days? We had a bit of a cold snap today. Back down in the 40s. Are you still not able to get away for a day trip to Boston? Are you working all weekend? The show's on Saturday and Sunday too. Oh, well, I doubt the rain or flurries help the magma flow, huh? Yeah, they're basically like, you can't stop this. Just get out of my way. That's what City Skylines 2 needed. They need a volcano disaster. A true city builder. Okay. 22. Field 20 goes to the livestock market. Just keep driving trucks into it. I mean, doesn't that get kind of expensive? So, City Skylines 2 did announce that on, April 11th, I think, an asset pack for beaches is coming out. They had some words about mods, but I didn't didn't spend a whole lot of time reading it to absorb it. %82 done. Nice. I mean, can you divert it back to where it came from? Like, put a note on it. Package undeliverable. Return to sender. We didn't order this. Can I return this back to Amazon? I mean, we're gonna have to rewrite all of our encyclopedias about the size of the continent. It's all gonna be wrong now. We're gonna have to go out and resurvey the whole place. Like, if you had oceanfront property and you had lava flow that extended your oceanfront property out another, I don't know how far. Is it like a free land upgrade? You know, do you go from owning well, I guess you'd measure it in hectares. You know, do you go from owning, let's say, a half-hectare plot to 3/4 of a hectare plot? And you're like, sweet, we got a bigger backyard. I feel like these types of things need to be figured out. Is that clearly defined in the mortgage when you buy oceanfront property in a country that's known for spewing forth new land? Oh yeah, we're doing a contract. All right, 75. So that's 15,000. These are 5 each. So, I mean, if we were to do something like this. We can't just do a 2 to 3 ratio here. That would give us a little extra silage, so we gotta be fair with things. I was hoping to double my money to get up to 120,000. I don't think we're going to do it, at least not with these 2 contracts. But we got another 40 minutes to try to ink out another 20 grand, maybe. Because we started the stream at 60. Hopefully I'll be over 100 when I get this done. Look, Burtis, you just can't rush it, okay? Good work takes time. You just can't rush it. Okay, so we're gonna come here. And we're gonna add a round silage bale. One, 2. All right, so that's made up for that. It's made up for that. Oh, we're 106,000. Actually, let's look at this. We got a lot of hay. Hey! It's fat. No, wait. It's not that. That's the wrong show. Give forth thy hay. Oh, it costs. $53 times 22. Well, that's going to take a while. Oh, this might... Oh, this is going to drop us off, right? There's definitely custom grass textures or crop textures. There's a custom lime texture. I do indeed, David, I do indeed. I have a 4-bay Q nap. Alright, this is... I don't think this is going to get us to... 120, but it'll get us closer. Oh, no, stop. It's a 4-bay QNAP, that's it. I got it a couple years ago. It has two 2.5 gig network ports on the back, because I recently upgraded and I got an 8-port 2.5 gig switch, because my laptop has 2.5 gig NIC. The gaming machine now has a 2.5 gig NIC, because I put that in. The streaming mini machine I'm going to use for capture and streaming. It's going to has a 2.5 gig NIC in it. So I've got the NAS set up with both ports basically strapped to each other, so I can have 2.5 gigs in and 2.5 gigs out. on that. That works real good. Although, honestly, if I were to replace it, I would just do my own. Because I've got an old 3900X that's just sitting around not doing anything. I've got I'm trying to find a decent deal on a case that had a bunch of drive bays in it. And I need to pick up like a B550 motherboard. And then I would just make up my own little home lab system with a NAS in it and run some other stuff. J&M Farming, I literally use both. In fact, right before you asked that question, I was using keyboard and mouse, and now I'm on the wheel. So I will literally use both interchangeably. But typically if I'm in this view, I'm going to use a wheel. And if I'm in this view, I'm probably using a keyboard. And if I'm backing up, it's 100% going to be keyboard. Oops, almost missed my turn. Why is this even turned off? Go, make more. I mean, you could program the D-pad on the wheel to move your camera left, right, up, and down. That's assuming your wheel has a D-pad. Mine does. But I just use a joystick for camera controls. specifically the side panel joystick. In that evergreen map, I was trying to use my Logitech joystick, and it's slower. It's not working. It's not even working now. But I think that's what I figured out. It's slower than the side panel joystick, so all those pans were just taking a lot longer than I wanted to. Cookie, you seem confused. Tags don't say Alma. Yeah, I mean, I probably, if I were to use the Logitech more, I would. But that was just a temporary setup when I was having my ocular problems. Because I've got a wireless mouse, or not a wireless, I got a wireless headphone, so I was able to stand up behind the gaming system. Because when I've got my eye issues, it's easier to look down than up or straight ahead. And the further away you are from the monitor, the less bright it is, obviously, on your eyes. So standing behind the chair and looking down at the monitor let me actually record that video. So I had my wireless keyboard and mouse on a box that was sitting on top of a portable air conditioning unit. And then I had the headphones on. I had my mod mic hooked up because that's wireless, because my boom mic wouldn't reach back there. So I was using the mod mic for the audio, and luckily the Stream Deck was able to reach back there so I could control OBS. But my side panel, I couldn't connect back up to it, so I just had to use the Logitech. Because using the keyboard, using the mouse to do my pans is too jerkier when I'm doing a map video than using a joystick. J&M, I don't know really if they're gonna only sell the Hori side panel. I mean, that hand throttle is really the only thing that makes that side panel intriguing, in my opinion, because you can use the oh, actually Giants will have, I think Giants said they'll have the farm stick at PAX East, so I'll be able to get my hands on some farm stick action. But the Logitech farm stick, quite frankly, looks to be a pretty good option. Yeah, of course, it doesn't bring you the hand throttle. Now, the Logitech side panel itself is not that bad, and you can get that separate. The joystick on the side panel is a little, you know, it's not the best, but it gets the job done in a pinch. And like I said, I use that joystick exclusively for camera panning. So you could use the Logitech side panel, which isn't all that bad. It connects USB to the PC. Or the Farm Stick, if it's back in stock. It was sold out last time I looked. But I don't know. I kind of think maybe Hori knows that the side panel is what most people want, and that the wheel, it's got the little blinker lights and the light dimmer thing, which is kind of gimmicky. Although I've heard we have a, is it Nostalgic that's got the Hori set up? He said he really likes it. It's his first wheel setup. But if you've already got a wheel, then you definitely are not interested in that. Now, the nice thing about the Logitech side panel is it just shows up as a game controller on the PC. So you could literally, if you wanted to, you could literally use it in other games like American Truck Simulator, Euro Truck Simulator, or any other game that accepts multiple controller inputs. All right, this will be our last selling of hay. Now, I tell you what is now this doesn't help you because you've already got a wheel. Tell you what is really interesting, and I put a video of this in the Discord. Moza came out with a truck wheel, and they have a mount for their Moza direct drive motor that positions the wheel more horizontal. And apparently there's also an attachment that can go on that acts like your turn signal stick and other things. That looks really cool for someone who maybe has already got an investment in the Moza wheelbase, and they could add this wheel fairly inexpensively to their setup. That doesn't help you because, of course, you've already got a wheel. Logitech has that Along the lines of their farm stick, they have a mount that makes their Logitech, a lot of their Logitech wheelbases, sorry, Thrustmaster wheelbases. This is a Thrustmaster farm stick, not Logitech. The Thrustmaster wheelbases, more of a horizontal mount, similar to the Hori wheel, and similar now to the Moza truck wheel. Gold Gaming, what's up? What's up? How you doing tonight? All right, I don't know if we're going to be able to get another $8,000 in 15 minutes. Because we've already sold our juices. I mean, I could fast forward tomorrow and see if I can sell some more juice. Let's do that. All right, Hellhawk, catch you later. Later, taters. We're going to be heading out here in about 15 minutes also. I was up way too late last night. I need to get some good sleep tonight. And I need to hit to bed early tomorrow because I plan to roll out of here around 5 a.m. on Wednesday on our rolling up to Boston for PAX East. And I tell you what, driving all day is exhausting, as I'm sure many of you are aware. Yeah, I wouldn't go direct drive unless you were super serious in sim racing. All right, we have that. You have water? You need water? Let's get these chickens some water. Well, I don't know what you're saying. Video, of course? What do you mean? Oh, it's full. Alright, let's Alright, let's fill it up with apples. This hauled off. This hauled off. Let's go see if we have any juice. Was that at the Twitch thing? I don't know if Rustmaster is going to be at PAX. Might have to look. Realms of Chaos, what is up? What kind of chaos have you been sowing as of late? See, do we have any juice pallets over there? We do, I think so. Lots of juice pellets. Why are these 165 kilograms? That seems like awful heavy for carrots. Juice. Juice, 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 juice. Turn on. Jeez. Alright, we got milk now being bottled. There we go. Okay, everyone. Where are we gonna sell our juice? The Restaurante. The Mountain Inn. And cheese. Alright, we're going to the restaurant. That's good enough a price for everything. Oh, what did you get? 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 Maybe Moza will have the truck wheel. Man, they unload that juice so quickly. Okay. Empty my carrots. Now we have some bread. Some bread to pick up. Oh, well. Yeah, that's I just love when that happens. And we're just gonna leave it like that because that's how we roll. Bread and butter. I mean, the restaurant's pretty good. We'll just go right here. Uh, 112. We're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. All right, so we could only sell methane. Oh, we would be making money. Oh, we got some. I've got some wool. I don't think that's going to get us $9,000, but hey. If we didn't sell it. So that's 8,000 short. 7,344 short. We gave it the good old college try. Feel like this is all we do. Run fruit. Keegan, I don't know. You have to go looking. I don't look for truck mods. I feel like we maybe could have done it if we had that built. Nope. No truck mods. I don't really care about truck mods. Let's run this over to the apple juicer. And that's where we'll end it. Julian, what made you play FS22? I enjoyed FS19. And I'd rather play for the chill than the thrill. So lots of other games are just too darn stressful. And you know what? Life is too dang stressful to begin with. So why do I want to come home and be stressed by trying to relax? And why did I start playing FS19? Well, because I enjoyed FS17. So really the question comes back to, what made you start playing Farming Simulator? And the answer to that is, well, I just mentioned it. It's stress-free. It's relaxing. Just play it at your own pace. Do what you want to do. Play how you want to play. Achieve whatever goals you want to achieve. I started playing Farm Sim back in 2016. And where are we at now? 2024. And the reason I was playing Farm Sim in 2016 is I was looking for something to do to fill the gap between races, because I was big into iRacing at the time, and iRacing uses scheduled races, and they at the time did not have AI races, so everything was scheduled. And there may be a race, let's say at 10 o'clock, and there may not be another race until 12 o'clock. So there's a 2-hour window that you may be in the race, but if something happens, you wreck out or you get wrecked out, well, you might have to wait upwards of 2 hours for the next race to start. So I was looking for something to fill the gap between races, because just endlessly practicing gets a bit old. And Farm Sim fit the bill. And then, quite frankly, my body started to tell me that it just preferred to play Farm Sim than to sim race. And I found myself more interested in sim racing, or more interested in farming, than in sim racing. In between the farming. So I eventually just gave up sim racing because it wasn't worth the stress. I farmed for real about 30 some years ago, but no more. And with that, well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's simulated racing. And with that, we are going to close out the night. I want to thank you all for coming out and watching. There will be no live stream tomorrow night. If Giants does drop a map tomorrow, then we will be putting out a map video. But tomorrow is basically going to be all about getting our tech packed up for our trip, because Wednesday morning we are rolling out. We're rolling out for PAX East. We'll be at PAX East in Boston Wednesday through Sunday, and then Monday will be a travel day back. So no live streams between now and next Tuesday at a minimum. So we will be putting out some content related to PAX East. I just do not know if we're going to be able to get that done before we return or not. Last year when we were at PAX, it was a blast, and it was also extremely busy. There were lots of nights we didn't get back to the hotel until very, very late in the evening, and pretty much all we had time to do was to jump into bed and fall asleep, and then get up the next morning and head back to the show. So with that, until next time, happy farming.